women have to deal with a
Thank you
lot of
for
things. When
tuning
you're on your
in
cycle, women
this
have to deal with
time
that and
on
still go to
Disrupt
work. But there
and
are
Discuss
some
podcast.
places that offer menopause support groups in the corporate structure. But
Welcome to Disrupt and Discuss with your hosts, E and KayCee. A Boucher Ventures production brought to you by It's Just E TV and My Herba by the Fitness Collective. Now, without any further ado, disrupt and discuss.
hey, everyone, how's everybody doing?
As I
How are
always
you,
say,
Casey?
I'm doing great. I
Doing
woke
great
up.
as well. Okay. Well, you guys, welcome back to Disrupt and Discuss. I am E,
And I am KC.
and together we are what? D and D.
DND.
All right, we got this wonderful series that we have been discussing. The series on menopause. We're talking about everything, you guys, all things menopause. And today we're talking about changing how everyone thinks about menopause, making things better for future women. So, we are going to get into it. We're going to talk about the female perspective, right? But this particular segment, hopefully, there's some men in the room, the men in the chat. We're going to talk about the male perspective. You got to add them in, just like they say, we got to add us. You got to add them too.
Oh, yeah. Them feel like they're part of the conversation.
Right? Exactly. So, this is the male perspective, you guys. Let's start with menopause and how it affects the men in our lives and how they can actually help instead of making things worse.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of men are just as confused as we are, but nobody's talking to them about it. They're pretty much reacting to how we react.
I would agree with that. So, I've been thinking about what I wish men in my life knew about menopause. What we would like them to know is it's not just hot flashes.
Not at
Men,
all.
yeah, it's not just about, ooh, 'cause just like us, like we talked about yesterday. That's all we knew really was hot flashes. We learned yesterday, it's flashback,
Oh, it's a
that
bunch.
and that brain fog. Brain fog is a part of it. I can walk into a room and totally forget what I walked into the room to get or what app
Right.
I was supposed to click on. That's a part of the brain fog of menopause. Men often think menopause is just about women getting hot and sweaty and that burst of heat. But they have
Mm-hmm.
no idea about the brain fog, the joint pain, sleep issues, and mood changes. It lasts years. They think it's like a cold. You feel bad for a week and then you're fine. No, it's going to be with us, right?
For a
You
little
can't,
while, yes.
for a little bit. You can't fix it. And men want to solve problems. They like to solve problems. But this is something menopause, it isn't a problem that you can fix or solve. It's a transition.
So, what's the biggest mistake men make?
They take it personally when their partner is irritable or doesn't want to have sex. They think, what did I do wrong? Instead of how can I help her through this? They're thinking, oh, she don't find me attractive no more. Maybe
Or
the thrill is gone.
what the fuck's wrong with you? No, okay,
Right.
okay.
Okay. You don't like the way I smell no more.
Mm.
So they think it's something about them and make it about them when it's nothing about them. It's just a transition, a change of life that we go through. So, how can we actually help them, educate them about this? You can educate yourselves. You read about menopause, listen to podcasts such as this that talk about it. Ask how to help instead of saying what's wrong with you. Say, what
Mm-hmm.
do you need right now? Or how can I help you? Be
Right.
patient. Be patient with the mood stuff. Remember that our irritability isn't about you. Help with practical things. Take over some household tasks when she's exhausted. Because again, sometimes fatigue does kick in. So,
It
help a
does.
little bit around the house, maybe wash some clothes or wash the dishes. If you don't know how to cook, eat out or something like that, all helps. Don't try to fix her libido. Don't try to
Right.
fix her libido. Work together to find new ways to be intimate. You should be doing that anyway. Spice it up.
Right, right. And can we also talk about how some men make jokes about menopause?
It's
I have
not
yet to
funny.
find the joke in it.
Right. It's not a funny matter, but I get they want to lighten the mood, but sometimes that's not the way to do
Timing is everything, for sure.
it. You want to stop unless you guys have that type of relationship. Not
Right.
everybody is super emotional about this. If you guys have that type of funny relationship and that lightens the mood for you, then do what works for you in your relationship. But if you don't have that type of partnership or that type of woman that is going to find this funny, please stop while you're ahead. Yeah. Let's talk about what this is not the US, you guys, work. So we all if you work in corporate structures, women have to deal with a lot of things. When you're on your cycle, women have to deal with that and still go to work. But there are some places that offer menopause support groups in the corporate structure. But we found that it's not out here. So,
Absolutely not. Not
right,
in the US. US.
right? We're just going to mention it that it does exist. But unless you're going to pick up and move you and your family to Europe or the UK, you'll probably be hard pressed to find it in the United States. There are some US companies, however, the programs that we have found are predominantly in Europe and the UK. So they exist, not here.
They don't care about this. What were we
Right.
saying
They
in the
like
conversation? You have a baby 6 weeks, they're ready for you to
they
come back.
they ready for you to come back. They want you to
No,
come back
no.
after you drop the baby off. You done
Yeah,
dropped
so
it, all right, you
menopause.
ready? Right. We gonna see you next week. You just had the baby.
Mhm. Good
Yeah.
luck with that.
Right. So let's look at the economic impact of menopause. We read that untreated menopause symptoms cost the economy billions of dollars
Mm.
in lost productivity, right?
Well, also because women are either struggling at work,
Mhm.
taking more sick days, or leaving the workforce entirely. It's not just a personal problem, it's an economic problem.
Absolutely. So it's a thing that costs a lot of money. The symptoms can cause a lot of issues, but there's some things that could possibly, if the US wanted to jump on board and be on board with making things more easy for women in the workplace, just a suggestion. Maybe you could provide some flexible work arrangements, allow women to work from home on bad symptom days. We have remote workers, so provide more flex days for that. Maybe some time off for appointments, make it more easy for them to see the doctor without using vacation days. Those PTO days are important. And you don't want to spend it on going to the doctor. You want to spend it on things that you want to do when you want to kick
Right.
back and relax or go overseas or go on a tropical vacation. You don't want to use up your PTO time to go to the doctor.
You
So
don't get
that's
much
just a
time
suggestion.
anyway. I remember back doing the 9 to 5, you didn't get many PTO days in the bank to start with.
Right? It was usually like 7 days, a week,
So
maybe 2 weeks or
mhm.
something like that. I
Yeah.
know nowadays, more of the new growth tech companies, they start you off at like 3 to 4 weeks of vacation. Yeah,
Really?
back in the day, that was really unheard of. You get 2 weeks or 7 days, and then each year or every couple of years, they tack on another week. So by the time you get there, if you're there for 20 years, woo, you get a whopping like 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's
Weeks.
crazy. One job I had, after you worked there for 5 or 6 years, you were entitled to 6 weeks sabbatical.
See, that's nice.
Yeah, I don't know if they
You know,
still do it, I'm not there anymore, so I don't know if that's even a thing they do.
and that was a US company?
Yes, was.
I worked for a company that was French. The headquarters was in France, and they had awesome benefits. They had what you stated, you can take a sabbatical. They started you off with 4 weeks of vacation. They had a pension plus the 401k. It was somewhat of a startup. We had all these little lucrative things at work. The time off, they really didn't worry about that, and we could take an hour and a half to 2 hours for lunch. They weren't
Right,
really I was
and
like, "Should I move?"
I mean, this place that too I'm talking about, they did really cool things. They were ahead of their time in terms of how the Googles and Facebooks are now. We were able to work out in the warehouse
Yeah,
area. They had a whole workout set up. They had a trainer that was there. They back then you had web van. That's old. Where I'm dating
r
myself, but they had Peapod web van, so your groceries came to you, and then I'd order my groceries like maybe an hour before I'm getting ready to go home. They'd show up, put them in the trunk, and then I'd go home.
yep,
Grocery shopping's already done. All those perks are great, but what did it do? It kept me at work for hours. I didn't need to worry about shopping because I can get online. Shopping was done. They had somebody to come wash your car. So all those
yep,
little things that got you out of work or things you had to do on the weekend, it was already provided for you. We had a climbing wall inside of our office. So you wanted
yep,
to take a quick break, you can climb the wall. Literally, you can
yep.
climb the wall. And it just was a great place when my kids were younger. They were able to come, people could bring dogs to work, which was before it was a thing that people do now. So all these things were really great, but again, and plus I commuted, so I wasn't home much. Looking back, it was great, but if I was offered a job that had all those perks right now, I would more than likely say no, because that meant we're providing all this for you, so you're gonna produce.
So there's no reason for you to say, "I gotta do this, I gotta do that." Everything
Everything
was
was
there.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Those companies still exist.
Oh, and it's great for those that it works for, but I
Right.
don't want to spend my whole life at my job. I want to be home with my family. I wanna be home. I
Wanna
don't
be
wanna
home.
be around their day with
Exactly.
people. I just don't,
I
you
always
know?
say when you look at certain companies, and this is my HR side coming out, when in the job description, they say, "We provide meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner." Beware, especially when they say dinner. I'm like, "Dinner? What are we talking about?" But yeah, these are companies with menopause support. More of them are in the UK. Is it forward thinking? Should there be support groups? Sure. Women have a lot of different things that we deal with that others don't, but we still keep it pushing and we still come into work. Anything that could help us be more efficient in the workplace would definitely be a great start if they could pick up something like that. Does it happen out here? Not as much. So, you know, maybe talk to your local HR people. Tell them, hey, it exists. Can we incorporate it here in the United States or in our company? It doesn't.
So we'll get back to you, and then you'll be the topic of discussion over lunch.
But
Because
you can't come in here asking that.
HR is for the company.
It's not for the employee.
That's a whole nother conversation, but
Sorry, y'all. She right. She right.
it's not.
We say we are, but we ain't. Yeah.
Mm-mm. No.
Well, let's
Anyway.
prepare for the next generation. Let's prepare for the next generation. We need to talk about preparing younger women like the elders did back in the day before we got so modern and forward thinking. We need to prepare our younger women so they don't go through what we're going through, right?
Oh, for sure, because I don't want my daughter to be 45 and scared like I was when this weird stuff started happening to my body. And maybe scared isn't really the correct word, but it's just, what's this? Just having
Mm,
questions,
yeah.
and you don't really want to, when you're in it, you want to know what it's, oh, okay, this is what it is. You might not like
Right.
it, but it's not going to be that new, I think.
Exactly. And it shouldn't be deemed as something negative or like you got cooties or something. It should
You're
be that.
old,
Right? It shouldn't be that. It should be more of it's a change of life and it's kind of like an elevation. It's a step up. You have made it to this point. You have a bit of
right?
wisdom and there should be settledness, a quietness, a peace about that you've made it this far, not a stigma that, oh, you gonna have night sweats, you gonna get heat waves, heat flashes, and you're not gonna like sex no more. That's not the end
Just put
all.
me on the shelf,
Right,
basically.
just put me on the show. You're not done. We should be talking about it more with our young ladies. So think about it as like you learned about your period. We learned about pregnancy and childbirth. We need to learn about menopause, right?
You do.
What young women need to know. It's normal and natural. It's not a disease. It's not failure. It doesn't mean death.
No.
It can start in your 30s. So we definitely need to talk to the 30-year-olds who think that they're going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right?
Yes.
I had no clue that some of the stuff that I experienced was perimenopause. So you do need to talk about the perimenopause symptoms that they begin in your 30s. So
Right.
like there's something abnormal about you. There are options. You don't have to suffer in silence. It's not the end. Many women feel better after menopause than before menopause.
Oh, right, and then even your doctor, sometimes they can give you medication to bypass a lot of these symptoms. So I just chose not to do that route. I'd rather go through it naturally and be done. I don't want all those chemicals in my body if I don't have to.
Right.
I opted not to do it.
Right.
So,
And that was what the HRT hormone replacement therapies and different types of
honestly,
things like that,
it
progesterone and
could have
estrogen.
been that. I just did not wanna do it, so I didn't even investigate it or ask questions about it because I didn't want to do it. The no-brainer for me. Thank you. She was okay.
Right. I agree. So how do we start this conversation? You definitely need to start early, right?
Oh,
With the ladies,
absolutely.
with our young girls. Probably the easiest one to talk about that, like I said, for me in my 30s, it was more so the sporadicness of the menstrual cycle. That was confusing to me with regards to sometimes it was heavy, sometimes it was light, sometimes it came, sometimes it didn't. And I
Yeah,
wasn't on
that's
any
the
type of
biggest
yeah.
one of all.
So had I known that was perimenopause, I probably wouldn't look like, "Oh, am I?" Because sometimes you question, "Am I losing my ability to?" If you're not able to procreate, you think you're less than a woman, right?
Oof.
Yeah.
Mm,
So I was
no.
like, if I lose that, am I less than a woman? Am I not a woman anymore? I wasn't around people who were talking about this and I suffered in silence. It wasn't like I was going out there, what is this? What's wrong with me? I wasn't shouting from the mountaintops or having these conversations with other women. So I was actually out and about doing me. So I just noticed it and I was like, what is it? Is it something wrong with me? I felt fine, but it was just something that I noticed about myself that it was
Yeah.
sporadic sometimes. Something was off, but it wasn't enough for me to be like, let me go to the doctor and find out what's going on. Focus on empowerment, frame it as valuable information and not scary stuff. Include the positive, talk about the freedom and the wisdom that comes after menopause. You are free and you have a lot that you've made it through. And so you are a little bit wiser. You can look at the younger girls and provide something.
Right. But then also at some point we need to teach our sons too, right? I mean, a lot of them have mothers, sisters, aunts, a female in their life at some point.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to think about the family too. A lot of families don't talk about this. It might not even get talked about with daughters anyway. I
Among
do
your
think
sons.
I do think if it is an open type relationship of sorts, that they at least be aware of it because they're going to come in contact directly or indirectly with someone who is experiencing this at some point in their life.
Right. And that is so true because I'm just thinking right now, especially when I told you my fogginess and my forgetfulness, sometimes it flows into stuff for hubby or stuff for son, my son. And
Mhm.
my son,
Mhm.
he said, oh, mom, you're always forgetting stuff. You always forgetting stuff, mom. Oh, mom, you always forgetting stuff. Now I can tell him, look, this is a part of menopause. Let's talk about it. That's
Yeah.
what this is coming from.
Yeah. My kids, they don't even say I forget. They'll just say, "Mom, I told you about this. We've talked about this." Now I'm thinking, who's the parent, who's the child?
Right.
"Mom, we've talked about this." So what we do now is we have a whiteboard in the common area. If they're working overtime, if they're going to be late or possibility of being late, they write it on the board. So I know to look on the board first before I ask any questions because it'll be, "Mom
Right.
talked about this. You don't listen to me."
Exactly.
And
See,
sometimes they're right. I do block them out, but there are times we did talk about it. I've moved on, and then they need to put it on the board, so I will remember.
but now you can tell him.
I am.
All right. I'm telling him, look, I'm not crazy. I am experiencing the change, the transition, y'all. Leave me alone.
Which happens when you're seasoned. How
We're
about it?
seasoned, exactly. So get off me.
Yep. Oh, you're being nice about it. I would have just said, "Fuck off," but okay.
Let's talk about the shift in culture. So the bigger picture, how can we change how society thinks about menopause and aging women?
Because right now, our culture treats menopause like it's the end of a woman's usefulness. Excuse me, usefulness, not youthfulness. Well, that
Right.
too, I guess, now that I
Yeah,
think
that
about it.
too.
And that's just trash. It's garbage. It doesn't
It's
make sense.
it doesn't make sense, but we talked about it. And these days, you are treated like they're about to put you out of pasture, shoot you in the head. It's
Oh,
almost over
damn.
for you.
Damn, that
Hey,
was harsh.
that's how it feels sometimes. It feels
Okay.
that way. It's
Okay.
ageism. Some of
Yeah.
ageism. In our culture, women are valued for being young and fertile. Once you can't have
True.
babies, society acts like you're done.
Right.
It's over for you. Stick a fork in her, take her out to pasture, shoot her.
Yeah,
She ain't
you're right,
what is her
you're right.
use? What's her use? But it isn't like that. It's more than that. And that's why we have discussions. That's why you have a lot of women out here trying to look and stay young, not necessarily for her per se, but for the optics of everyone else. Don't treat me like I'm different. And that stigma is because of that stigma. I'm still young. I can still do this. I can still drop it. It comes from a lot of that. So instead of it being something of it's looked at, it's a good thing. It's honorable. You have wisdom.
They
Let's
don't
talk
look at
about
that.
media representation. Older women
Oh,
are barely represented in movies, TV advertisements, magazines. We've come a long way. I've seen little things here and there, but if she's an older woman, she's more edgy. She has a youthful appearance. I see commercials about women in cosmetics, and it's usually a woman, she still dresses tough, she still puts on her makeup, she still has a different style about her. It's not
right,
like she's sitting at home or a visual of a woman who is comfortable in her skin or like a big mama. It ain't a big
right.
mama, right?
No.
The visual is definitely different. What about workplace
Well,
discrimination? They age you
sometimes
out.
yeah, sometimes women over 50 face age discrimination. I didn't necessarily face discrimination, but I could tell When I was younger, I was able to hop from job to job.
Mhm.
That was a little bit easier. As I got older, I wasn't able to hop as quickly or to as many job opportunities. So at one point, I was like, yeah, I can tell I'm getting older. And it wasn't even necessarily somebody seeing me and go, oh, you're an old bag, get out of here. Your resume, your experience, the
Right.
years which you have been working. I knew the tricks of keep it to one page, you do all of this and that and the other. But certain things that I would put on there, you knew that I had been in the work field for a while. There's
Right.
no way to hide that.
And it
And
will age you out.
oh, yeah, and one thing too, and I don't know if the younger generation does this, but as I got older, instead of being nervous and going to an interview, "Oh, they're gonna interview me," I actually was interviewing them as well. Some people get put off by that when you're interviewing them as well as them interviewing you.
You should always interview them.
Well,
You are correct.
some when I was younger, I would just sit there and I just let them ask me all kind of questions, and I didn't think about all that, and that was naivete on my part. But then as I got older and more experienced with the workforce, I was interviewing them just like they were interviewing me. Sometimes it worked. Oh, yeah, we got a hot one here. Other time,
Right.
oh, we need somebody a little bit more dumbed down. We don't want that.
She's not gonna let us walk all over her. Oh god, heaven
No,
forbid.
no. What was that saying? I don't know for sure who said it, but if your back is bent over, then they can run over you. They can't run
Right.
over you if you're standing up straight. So, that's how it was.
I love that. You
But
always come with these
well, I got that
homespun wisdom.
but I got that from someone, and I don't wanna say where I got it only because I might be wrong, and I don't know for sure, but I never forgot that saying. At the same time, how do we change this narrative moving forward?
Exactly. What about the beauty standards? There's also the beauty standards always focused on youth. How to look youthful, how to
Yes,
hide this, hide that, how to make your face smooth, how to
smoother, crow's
glow.
feet, this, that.
It's all about a youthful appearance. It's catered towards you being young, not you getting older. What about
Right.
medical dismissals? Doctors often dismiss older women's health concerns.
I don't really see it necessarily with older women. I have a different perspective, and it's more or less being a Black woman dealing with doctors in health. I make sure that I'm not dismissed on
Mhm.
what's going on. So as I get older, that might be something too. But just the stigma alone with healthcare and being a Black woman, some people can say person of color, but I know specifically a Black woman, a Black person. When in doubt, we can go back to the air quote doctor of gynecology,
Right.
that in itself. So I make sure I'm not dismissed.
Overlooked as for pain meds or
Oh,
pain.
they said we can withstand a lot more pain than the average person.
Right. No,
Yeah,
that is
I'm gonna
true.
just glide across that. So that's not an issue for me.
Let's reframe menopause. How do we change this narrative?
We can start talking about menopause as a transition to power and not a loss of it. People don't even talk about it. So I think we can set the standard.
Yep.
Postmenopausal women often become more confident, assertive, and focused. Hence, what we said about being dismissed medically, viewing the interviewer, being assertive, being more confident, doing it like that, and having creative renaissance
Okay.
outlet. Yes, many women start most of their successful projects after menopause.
Yep.
That's why, like I said, I was stumbling on renaissance versus creative because it is a whole creative thing that you're doing and freedom. And again, as we've said 1,001 times, freedom from fertility concerns, sex without worry about pregnancy. That's for sure. Anything else, you need to be careful. Let's just put that out there. But not having
Yep.
to procreate, which is great for me. I'm happy with
Okay.
that. I'll let you take that one.
Less tolerant of the bullshit.
There
Yes.
you
The
go.
best. Many women report feeling liberated from caring what others think. Lord, thank you.
Yes.
Yes. I don't give a damn. If you don't know, now you know. Because I've seen some things, been some places, experienced some things, and so yeah,
What
I
they said, I've been, I've seen, and I've got the t-shirt. I
got the
don't need it.
t-shirt. Got a t-shirt, the coffee mug, little
Keychain.
hat,
Yeah.
everything. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm in that era and I love it. What about individual action? We can talk openly, stop whispering about menopause, share our stories, help other women feel less alone. We
Yep.
can celebrate the positives, focus on what we've gained, not just what we lost, celebrate it. Demand better health care, find doctors who take menopause seriously. You just
Yes.
need to find doctors that, can work with you or want to work with you. And like Casey said yesterday, be more collaborative, cooperative. support menopause research, advocate for more funding, push workplace changes. Well, let's pin right here, support more menopause research because we talked about it yesterday. Yogi Cecily came on here and she talked about it as well. It's really not a lot of information
There
about
isn't.
menopause. It's still ongoing with what doctors know, researchers know. We really do need to advocate for awareness of this thing. And a lot of doctors are unfortunately men. So it's like Yogi Cecily said, it's our problem. It doesn't affect them. So it's like, okay, you get hot flashes. Okay. You get a little
Buy a
irritable.
fan.
Okay. It does need to be, we do need to advocate for more awareness, more funding to find out what can we do, make it more aware for women to know what they can do, what they can exercise and eat and things like that. It needs to be more at the forefront of educating women about menopause and not because not thinking of it as just it's this death sentence per se.
Right.
Push for workplace changes, like we stated, support companies with menopause friendly policies, challenge media representation, support content that shows diverse older women.
Right.
Support us. There she
Yeah.
is. Mentor younger women. Share your knowledge and experiences. Do what the elders did back in the day, our ancestors. Mentor and bring up our young women. Don't just let them fall by the wayside. I know as teenage young women, we know we're a little feisty. You can't
And
really
we know
tell us nothing.
everything. Of
We know
course.
everything. Right, but sit them down, take them to lunch, go have a glass of wine or something, lunch or something, and have a discussion. Have a discussion. Won't hurt, for sure. Here we are at the end. Hopefully, you guys love this menopause deep dive. What do you want people to take away from all of this?
Well, first of all, you're not alone. What you're experiencing is normal. There are millions of women going through the same thing every day,
Yep,
every single day.
absolutely. I agree with that. Third, you have options, whether that's natural approaches, medical treatment, or a combination of both. You don't have to just suffer. There's things out there for you to, there's different approaches. And just don't be in denial because of the stigma of getting old. A lot of women like, I ain't got that problem. That ain't me. I don't know what y'all talking about.
In the dead of winter, they've got the air conditioner blasting.
Right.
But
You see them, it's 50 below and they outside in t-shirt and shorts.
another thing, this conversation needs to keep happening. We need
Mhm.
to normalize talking about menopause so future generations don't feel scared or alone like many of us did to experience it or have questions. And again, I use the word scared, but I use it loosely because I'm thinking of when you don't want to ask a question that you might have think I should already know the answer to, and you're scared of being
Right.
laughed at, you're scared of being wrong. So that's when I say don't feel scared and alone, like many of us. You don't know what you don't know. I've
True.
always been told the stupidest question is the one that you don't ask.
The one
So
that you do
definitely
ask.
someone you feel comfortable with that's older, ask.
Exactly. And finally, menopause. It isn't the end of anything. It's just a transition. It's a new phase of life. With the right support and information, it can be an incredible phase. It's not putting us out to pasture. You are just beginning. Just
Oh,
beginning.
a new chapter for sure. 'Cause I've
Chapter.
got some pages that need to be written in that one. That's for sure.
Right.
But definitely, we want to hear from you. What resonated? What questions do you still have? How are you dealing with menopause on your journey? If that's something you even want to share, but we'd like to know because we're nosy. We
Absolutely.
want to know what's going
We really are. But it helps us answer questions, come up with other topics to discuss. So definitely let us know. It isn't just about surviving menopause, it's about thriving in menopause.
on.
It's
Right.
about thriving through helping other women do the same thing.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Oh,
I don't want you to forget your thought. Keep going.
he said, I don't want you to get breast back. Too late. I don't forgot.
Well,
See?
in any event, we hope that you enjoyed this. We really enjoyed finding out there's even stuff that we didn't know. He and I discussed this topic. So until next time, remember your body is amazing, your experience matters, and you deserve support through every phase of your life.
Absolutely. I concur. This is a great time in life, you guys.
It is for
I don't know
me.
if others feel this way, but it is a great time to be alive, that second phase of life. When you're younger, you think 30s old, 40s old. But then when you get here, it's like, hey, I don't feel old. I don't feel old. I really don't, with the exceptions of a few creaks every
Well,
once in a
yeah,
while when you get out the
that
bed.
is what's really happening for sure. But then
But
my question is, would you go back knowing what you know now?
Would I go back to those times?
Or pick an age. Would you even go back?
If I had the opportunity to go back to a specific age, I probably would it would probably be between 25 and 28. I would like to redo those years. The reason is those were pivotal times in my career growth. I
Mhm.
known then what I know now, I would have made a few better choices. With my life, would have
Mhm.
made a few different choices. So, what about you?
Honestly, I don't wanna go back. To get to where I'm at now, you had to learn mistakes, there's mistakes, there's challenges, there were triumphs and all of that. But even knowing what I know now, would I wanna go back? No. Whatever I did, what I didn't do, I'm gonna continue in this life. I have my children, raise my children. I don't wanna go back and have to deal with that part again. No, I don't wanna do it. This is my time. I'm okay with it. Fuck 'em. I'm moving forward. And I know I'm making light of it. To some, it might sound like it, but now I'm at that stage in my life where I can travel. I don't have
Mhm.
to worry about, I need to get permission from my boss. I need to put this in. I need to do this and being like this on the job. I don't have to deal with that. This is a new chapter for me. My kids are grown. There's grandkids. I can play with them, leave them alone, go see your mama. It's not me. And I'm happy.
That's good. I like that. So you got one, me. I said I would definitely change some things, and you got KayCee. She's welcome. It is what it is.
That's it.
She's like, it is what it is. I would because I don't think if I would have between those ages, I think well, I know those choices that I made, I probably wouldn't be yeah, I probably wouldn't be here. That's a good okay, I see what you're saying. I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Do I have regrets of certain things? I wish I've done certain things differently. Of course I do. But do I want to go back knowing what I know? No, I'm not going back because then I got to go forward again. No, I'm not doing.
Right. Well,
Okay.
let us know. Would you turn back the hands of time, y'all? Yay or nay? If you had the opportunity to change something, would you? What time frame? Or would you not? Would you just it is what it is, you're moving forward. Let us know in the comments. You guys, we have ended it. We put a nice little bow on this menopause series. Hopefully, you have enjoyed the conversation between KayCee and myself. We did a lot of research. There was a lot of information that we had that we
A
went
lot.
through a lot. And we try to throw in our personal experiences as well. So hopefully, you guys enjoyed that too. Like I said, let us know in the comments. We definitely appreciate hearing from you each and every time you leave a comment. Always a wonderful thing to read. Until the next one, we'll be back with another one soon. I don't know if it's going to be a
Yes.
series, but we're definitely coming with another banger. So stay tuned. Until the next one, you guys, what do we like to say?
Tiki Barber here. I remember those grueling practices, pushing through fatigue and striving for greatness. Well, that's the same dedication My Herba puts into their supplements. They understand the body's needs. My Herba takes a holistic approach to wellness. Whether it's their sea moss, immune defense, or even sleepy time, they have an option for you. Let My Herba make the best you with code BARBER10 for 10% off at thefitnesscollectif.com.